Freedom 97.1.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
DQ presents. Picture this. You stand before the awe-inspiring new signature stack burger menu at DQ and your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? That's 5 taste bud tempting cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef. You peek at the loaded A1 stack burger with 2 premium sauces. Then the flamethrower stack burger with tongue-tingling jalapeno bacon. Then you realize moments like these are exactly why we have the DQ signature stack burger menu. DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
It's easy to relax knowing that I can manage my Jones Onslow EMC account anytime, from anywhere. Pretty convenient, Jones Onslow. I mean, I can use the totally secure online payment service, call them 24/7, use their pay site kiosks, or I can use the pay where you shop option right in my neighborhood. Just visit joemc.com/easy to see all the options. Doesn't get easier than that. Now, where was I?
Bird watching is not only relaxing, it's easy, almost as easy as managing my Jones Oslo EMC account. With Jones Oslo, I can pay my bill anytime from anywhere, like online or at places like Dollar General, Walgreens, and CVS, using Jones Oslo EMC's Pay Go service. I can even pay through nearby pay site kiosks. See? Easy. Just visit joemc.com/easy to see all the options. Doesn't get easier than that. Member-focused, service-driven. That's our co-op.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Philadelphia. Local time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature is 67 degrees. At this time, you are now free to use your cellular devices.
You know that feeling when you get to turn your phone on after the plane lands? You can have that feeling every time you drive. Make sure your cell phone is stowed away whenever you are behind the wheel.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Now, hit music on Jacksonville's Freedom 97.1.
Woke up this morning to the sound of the radio. They were playing a song. Went to my dresser drawer and I pulled out your photograph. Then the tears began to fall. Can't you see that there was a part of me that just won't let you go? Could not believe that it took you and me to keep love going on. Baby, I can't take it no more. Baby, I want you back. I can't take it no more. Can't you see that our hearts are broken and torn? Baby, I need you back. I can't take it no more without you. Without you. What am I gonna do without you, babe? I can't make it on my own. Thought time would get me over you, but time has truly shown. I was blind and I could not see that there was no right and no wrong. It's give and take, push and shove all the way. It's time that keeps love strong. Baby, I can't take it no more. Baby, I want you back. I can't take it no more. Can't you see that our hearts are broken and torn? Baby, I need you back. I can't make it no more without you. Without you.
Good morning, YouTubers. Hang in there. We're going to be live here in just a couple of minutes on the radio and here on YouTube channel and all over the place. So hang in there for that, and love to hear from you guys today. 910-333-0139. We've got County Commissioner Royce Bennett in this morning at 7:30, and Lee, of course, Lee Barrows is in for Kelly, and I'm here, Rayford Brown. And then your calls anytime you want to ring us up this morning. Again, our number is 910-333-0139. We'll be right with you live. Hang in there.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to intervene in the Justice Department's case against him for taking government documents. He wants the special master appointed to review those documents to have access to everything marked classified.
The 11th Circuit had previously sided with DOJ, ruling that the classified documents could be separated from the rest for the criminal investigation. The Trump legal team request goes to Justice Clarence Thomas for consideration based on geographical jurisdiction.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The Biden administration is asking major oil-producing nations to not cut production. That group meets today.
OPEC Plus nations led by Saudi Arabia and Russia are reportedly considering a cut of up to 2 million barrels of oil a day. White House officials say President Biden will take necessary steps to protect American consumers.
Fox's Sean Langell. Gas prices are up another 3 cents a gallon since yesterday, according to AAA. America's listening to Fox.
And it is right now. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning, hump day.
Hump day.
There you go. Halfway through the week. We will be at 8 o'clock this morning, halfway through our work week.
That's right. We
Exactly
will be.
at 8 o'clock.
Exactly.
I'm Rayford Brown.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And we'd love you guys to join us this morning and have a chat with us if you want to call in. You're welcome to do so every day. 910-333-0139. Coming up at 7:30, we've got Onslow County Commissioner Royce Bennett. Is he coming in?
He's coming into the studio.
He'll be in the house.
I talked to him yesterday.
You can call him and ask him questions.
He is full of information.
Yes. Well, yeah.
He's got a lot of information. I
He
mean, a
does.
lot of things that you don't realize what the county actually does.
And we hear that, and we hear that from all of the commissioners.
Right.
You know, we talk with them, when I talk with them after hours and whatever. Did you know that? And that's one of the questions that they generally start off.
We have a lot going on
Did
in
you hear
Onslow
about?
County.
Did you know that? And I start asking questions because I'm a nosy person.
Holly Ridge is booming
with
their
industrial stuff.
yes,
Yep, that's good.
booming.
You look
Sneeze Ferry, the growth in
Holly
Sneeze
Ridge used to
Ferry.
be the original boom town. Did you know that?
Boomtown.
Boom town. It was bigger than Jacksonville for a while. During
Really?
World War II.
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh, my
Oh.
goodness gracious. They had all sorts of activity there with Camp Davis back in the day. It had a lot more going for it at the time than Jacksonville did in the early 40s.
Goodness gracious, I didn't know
That's where the
that.
original Boomtown furniture place was located, but it wasn't called a furniture store there.
Really? What was it called?
It was a grocery store.
Oh, Boomtown
The
Grocery?
Popkins had a grocery store
Did
there.
they
Yeah,
really?
they did.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Okay, let's start out with the tropics. This thing
Yeah.
that was a tropical disturbance is now upgraded because it's been a tropical disturbance for
Now it's
about
a
10
depression.
days. Now it's a depression.
Oh goodness.
It's went from being disturbed to being depressed. Or maybe it was causing us to be disturbed and now we're depressed.
I just know, please go.
5 o'clock this morning, tropical depression 12, number 12, had maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. Located, yada, 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 back there off the coast of Africa, where it's been since day one. It has not moved very much except meandered around a little bit. No general direction of travel. Now it has a more of a specific direction of travel, moving towards the northwest at 8 miles per hour. So it might finally get off the pot and do something. I don't know. It's, I want to say it's later in the season. Well, it is. We passed our prime, and we've got this cold stuff going on for us.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah. What'd you say?
It's cool.
I'm freezing.
Well, I've been cool. I'm wearing a sweater.
I'm going to go.
I've got my boots on today.
I'm
yes.
going to put. I'm going to get a heater and put in here, an extra one.
Well, bring it.
Nah. Sorry.
I mean, I'm comfortable, but
it's
just
nice.
It's
I don't have a
nice.
problem with
It's
it.
not so hot and humid out.
49 degrees this morning when I left
Yes,
home.
it was. I felt it when I got up, but I wasn't about to turn on the heater.
Oh, no.
It's perfect. Perfect for not using it.
Anyway, TD number 12. I don't know how long it will take to go anywhere or if it will even develop. They're not saying anything about it. It's just these are the facts, Jack. Then to the west of that, this other disturbance is a disturbance number 1 because it's the only one out there now. It has an 80% chance of forming up into something over the next 5 days, 60% over the next 48 hours. Heavy rainfall, localized flooding, gusty winds, up to gale force winds are expected over portions of the Windward Islands, northern portions of South America, and the ABC Islands. Let me explain to you who those are. Those are the Dutch islands of Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao.
I was just going to say, this is heading right for where you just came from.
It is. Again, this will be the second one this year, and they don't ever get those things. So this is 2 in 1 year. Over the next couple of days, it should be in the Caribbean. And by the weekend, it's not moving real fast. It's just it's a disorganized area of rainfall, some winds, and they'll probably pick up. Don't know whether it will form into anything or not. They're saying there's an 80% chance. There's a 20% chance nothing going to happen except a bunch of rain going to move from the east all the way through the Caribbean. One thing we got to look out for is, like Ian went through the Caribbean, then it crossed over at the last minute, that little narrow gap off the Yucatan, between Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico and Cuba. It took the Cuban route and went over Cuba. That was his first landfall. Didn't slow it down much. Came into the southern part, southwestern part of Florida, and then it made a mess.
Absolutely,
they still are working on trying to get everything back in order.
And they're still looking for people.
Well, they don't have everybody yet.
Right.
I forgot what the last body count was. 140.
It was bad. It was just
and climbing.
Right.
There are teams that are there, been there since last week, since the thing came ashore. Miami-Dade Fire Department team has been over there, and I know one of the guys on that. And he went in with the heavy equipment team so they can lift stuff up and try to recover.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, if you want to know about PTS, go tag along with one of those guys after they wrap it up.
Sure.
So those are issues there. And then, of course, that storm came across, as we know, last weekend, across Florida, came out on the Atlantic side, headed up the coast a little bit. Gulf Stream grabbed it, dropped it off in just north of Charleston, and then it, of course, our weather was impacted for pretty much the entire week.
Yes, it was.
As soon as that thing started into Florida.
I just don't remember one being this long.
It just stayed there and stayed there and stayed there.
It did.
Then when it came ashore near Charleston, it went on up through the Columbia area. Well, it didn't even make it to Columbia, but the whole state was messed up.
Right.
Nothing severe. So
We have now 5 deaths in North Carolina
Yeah.
attributed to it.
most of them wrecks or
Yes,
that's
4 were wrecks,
Mhm.
and one was a husband and wife who started up they had their generator in their garage.
Oh, no.
And, of course, this carbon monoxide fumes crept into the house.
You know, we say it. We brought Steve Goodson from Jones Onslow and one of his safety guys in here,
Right.
engineers, early in the season
Yes,
to
we
talk
did.
to everybody about it. Those are things you should not be doing.
Exactly right.
You can do without power. All you got to do is go to bed and go to sleep.
That's right.
No big deal. Don't put candles on and let them burn all night either.
No.
Okay, they
Mm-mm.
can fall over. Dogs can do something. Cats can do. Cats
That's
are
right.
notorious. I
Yes,
got
they
one,
are.
so I know about that. But they, and don't put them up in a window with curtains around. Don't put
Oh.
them up anywhere that there's cloth or anything that
'Cause
will
you know
ever
you
burn.
have a breeze coming in through even with
You
the
do.
window shut,
You will have.
you still have air coming in.
The only place that's safe that I can think of you can put it is in the middle of the bathtub with no water in it,
Or, yeah, a
or
great huge bowl
or
away from everything.
in the sink, the kitchen
Right,
sink.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's really good is to get those little, LED lights that run on battery.
Get
You can
battery
string them
powered.
all over your house.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
You can get a couple of LEDs, and they'll stay charged for a long time.
Yes, they will.
If you get the ones without that are just use double A's or whatever,
Mhm.
not a problem. Get a stash of
I
double
have
A's.
candles. They're not real candles,
they're
but they're battery operated,
LEDs.
and they're programmed to come on
Mhm.
at dusk,
Mhm.
and they stay on 3, 4 hours, and they'll light up your room well.
Yeah. You don't have to have the TV on.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you had a radio, a battery powered radio.
I have one of those.
Yes, that's good.
I have one of those.
Everybody should own one of those because you just never know when the power is going to just crap out there for a
Well,
few
you know,
days.
do you remember back in the day where you could buy those portable TVs that were black and
Yeah,
white and they
yeah.
ran on batteries?
you can't do
And
that.
at least you can pick up the local stations.
You can't do that anymore.
You can't do
That's
that
done.
anymore.
Yeah, once they went over to HD, full HD, the change frequencies.
Well, I'd still like to have a small one for case of an emergency.
Well, but you would have to have one that would tune those new channels.
I know it. They're still. That's what
Now,
I'm
the
saying.
good thing is, it doesn't take a lot of power to run even a big screen TV. A lot of current. It's you can buy. Like me, I've always got extra batteries, like in deep
I do
cycle,
too, yes.
batteries for a boat.
Mm.
Okay, they'll run a long time, low current drain, but they'll hold up. And put an inverter on them.
Oh,
An
yes.
inverter is one of those things you can buy like at Harbor Freight.
Right.
Today's TVs, they don't require 5 or 10 amps, but you can get a 2,000 watt inverter for $50, $100.
Yes.
Okay, you just hook it to your battery,
And then you can plug your stuff
and
in.
you can plug your charging gear into it to charge your cell phones if you want. You can run your TV off of it.
Now, how long will that run?
It depends upon the battery.
So that
But
went out.
during a storm, when the power is off, when in the middle of a storm, the power goes out, you're in the total dark. Have yourself some rechargeable LED lights.
Yes, I have those.
Just to have it doesn't
Right.
take but one. You aim it at the ceiling and it'll bounce down and
Right.
lights up the whole room.
Mhm.
Okay, and because when it's dark, and
Oh,
any little
yeah.
bit of light helps. But put one up there to bounce off the ceiling, and it does a bounce lighting thing, and you can read by it if you get the right one.
Yeah, they're bright.
And then you can run a TV. I would not suggest powering up your 65-inch big screen. Get yourself the small,
Right.
18-inch screens or whatever.
Yes, I have a couple of those
Yeah,
too.
and just 16, 19-inch screens, and keep one of those going. They'll run for days.
If you have cable too, though.
Well, let's go beyond that.
Okay.
Let's
Tell
go
me the secret
beyond
there.
getting a small antenna,
I have one.
an outdoor antenna,
I have an HD TV antenna.
yeah,
I'll
and-
put it on a pole.
Yeah, and you can put it outside. If you don't want to put it outside, put it in your attic.
Mhm.
It's up higher.
Well, I have a metal roof, so it didn't work for me.
Oh, well, you've
So
got
I
that's
had to go outside
put it
and I
put it
actually put
put
it
it
on
on
a
a pole,
pole
no big deal.
and then ran the wire inside.
Yeah,
So
plug it into your TV and you can watch for free.
yes, when the cable goes out, I do. I
Yeah.
do.
So, that's one way of doing things. So you're not left in the pardon the pun, in the dark totally.
Right.
You can get and of course, you can have your radio,
Now I have my
your
radio.
battery-powered
Yes.
radio, and just listen and listen and listen.
There's nothing like having a battery. Mine's sitting right out there because, like, in the mornings and I'm
Mhm.
not on the show, I'll have that on. I'll have the computer on so I can monitor both of them in case something goes out or
Now,
something goes awry.
for my amateur radio friends out there and others like that,
Yes.
as a kid, you know what I did?
No.
Because we didn't have the
Cans
battery-powered
with a
radio.
string?
Oh, it was better than that. There's something called a 1N34 diode. It's just a diode,
Right.
okay? Just a 29-cent thing.
Mhm.
And I would put headphones across it. I would wire it around a set of headphone, the two connectors there, right? The conductors.
Right.
And then the one end I would hook up to my screen wire on the window, and the other end I'd hook it up to a ground. I could listen to the local radio stations
Really?
without tuning in or anything else because there was only one that was
Holy
licensed to be on
moly.
the air
Aren't
at
you
that
just so
time
smart?
in AM.
Hmm.
No battery, no nothing,
That is cool.
and I could
I'm gonna
listen
have
to the
try
radio.
that.
It's just fun to do things like that.
Of course.
Of course, I came from the days of we built radios and
Cans
stuff.
and strings.
Well, we were way more
Talking
sophisticated
to your
than
buddy
that.
next door.
Yeah, it wasn't cans and strings, but we did have buried wires and dry cells, 1.5 volt dry cell batteries. They're about that tall, and I could hook up we had a couple of old telephones, and we had comm wire, requisitioned Marine Corps comm wire, that we buried underneath between our houses and between our bedrooms.
Seriously?
We did. It's a wire still there, I'm sure. And then we would take that and I would connect a telephone on my end through my just old surplus 1940s vintage telephones. And he would do the same thing. And we put a buzzer on it, a bell on each end. You could push the bell, push a button, and it would ring the phone on the other end.
How so cool.
Yeah.
Well, that certainly set your stage for communications.
Oh, well, we did things like that because we could and we wanted to. Just fun.
You know what? And you ought to give classes on that for kids because that'll get them away from the
I really wish
games on the
I really
Xbox
wish
for a
that,
while.
and if you guys ever want to get an amateur radio, I was talking to a guy up on what's that? Edwards Island, Prince Edward Island, in Canada.
Wow.
Yesterday, last night when I got home from the marina, Robbie was doing some work down in the office. So I walked over to the radio, turned it on. I was listening a minute. Checked in on the Maritime Network, Marine Maritime Network, Maritime Mobile Network. Checked in there. I think the guy was in Michigan where I checked in with. But then I heard a guy calling, and I called him, and we chatted for a bit. He's up on Prince Edward Island.
That is
and
cool.
they're the ones that had the hurricane, not Ian, but what was it, Fiona? That went to the north of us or something.
Up there's.
And they had lots of destruction up there.
Yeah.
Oh, he was talking about it. So,
Wow.
And he said, we're just not prepared for anything like that here. I said, yeah, but you got a snowplow, right? He said, yeah. I said,
Yeah.
we don't have that here. So,
a little bit of snow and we're just immobilized.
we'll deal with the hurricanes and then you can deal with all the
That's certainly
snow.
more than the most I've ever done is maybe talk to a trucker on my CB radio while traveling.
No. The other night I was talking to a guy in Holland.
Wow.
In the Netherlands, and just popped in for a minute. And I heard him calling, so I called him back, and he's just putting out a general call for anybody. So it's just, you guys, you young'uns out there.
Those were the good days.
You can really have a lot of fun. It's not like the internet. It's not like stalkers because all these people that are on the radio, they are licensed in whatever country they're in.
Mhm.
They have to take tests. They have to be
Yes.
screened. You will have to take a test as well. But those tests are given locally here in Onslow County by the Onslow Amateur Radio Club.
Yeah, you talked about that before, and I was like, gee, I don't know. I think I'd like to to dabble in that.
It's
That would be
easy to
fun.
do, and you can do a bunch of it online, studying online, no big deal. Go over to the club and at their meetings, and at some point in time, they will say when they're going to be offering testing because they can have two what they call volunteer examiners
Right.
in the room, and they can give you the test. You can start out with a very simple test and talk to people all over Onslow County and beyond on through their repeater systems.
That would be cool. And it's great to have in case of emergency.
Absolutely. So when the cell phones
Excuse me.
don't work, ham radio does.
Right.
When the police and sheriff's communication centers die, not if, but when they go down,
That's right. What
guess
have
who
they
they
got left?
call?
They call Onslow.
Guess who? Guess who?
Onslow React. It used to be called Onslow
Well,
React.
this is amateur radio guys.
Right.
The React was CB.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Now, they also man every time the shelters are opened up. Every time the shelters open up here for evacuation,
Mm-hmm.
the club puts a ham in the shelters with what they call a go box.
Oh,
It's
okay.
an emergency communication system, portable setup. They can operate off batteries and whatever. Good morning, Doug. How are you?
I'm fine. I've got a story that's going to rock your world, Rayford. Rock your world.
Oh, another one that
Oh,
is going
boy.
to fizzle on the vine. Go ahead.
Have you heard about what has happened in Ohio? Specifically at the Lake Erie Walleye Trail Tournament. Have
Oh,
heard
you
about
mean
this?
where they put a bunch of lead weights in the fish that they caught, and they had about twice as much weight as that fish should have had? The fishes, because it's an aggregate thing.
Lee, I used to call up and talk about the scandals in local policing. I'm calling up now to talk about the scandals in the local fishing industry.
No, only in Ohio.
Oh, professional fishing! It looks like it's a scam. There was this official tournament, not unlike the king mackerel tournament, fishing for
Everything
walleye.
is different than the king mackerel tournament because we are legitimate here.
Do we know that? Are you sure that no one's shoving weights down these throats of these poor
Absolutely.
fishes?
Let me explain to you what happens for the local tournaments. First of all, the
Well,
gentlemen,
let
going
me
to have a
tell
marine
people what
fisheries.
happened, though.
They're going to have a marine fisheries guy on location. Okay, on at the weigh-ins. So yeah, I know about those. But go ahead.
All right. So what happened was you have a walleye fishing tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and you have these two guys who have an incredible track record of winning all these regional tournaments, and they're winning thousands of dollars.
Uh-huh.
This particular thing was for nearly $30,000. They come up with their catch. And by the way, have you ever had walleye? It's delicious.
I have not.
Oh my God, Rayford! It's like the prime rib of fish.
I don't have that kind of fish around these here parts, and I ain't going to Ohio for nothing, honey.
Some flounder. We need to go dig
You've
it.
got to at some point in your life try walleye. I'll see if I can get some. It is the best fish you will ever have.
Yep.
It's delicious. But in any event, and I don't eat a lot of fish, but this is I would take walleye over steak any day of the week. These guys came in with a couple of fish, and the judge, who turns out was a cop, glanced at them and said, "They're about 4 pounds." Puts them on the scale. They're 7 pounds. 7 pounds. And the crowd goes, "These guys have been winning all over the place. Those aren't 7-pound fish." The judge says he can feel something in them. They cut it. You can see this video. Have you watched the video?
I have not, but I have heard about it.
Yeah, they sliced it open, and all this weight that have been shoved down the belly of the fish come out. Of course, they weighed the fish down. So it's just appalling. If you can't trust your neighborhood angler.
Oh, no. First of all, let me explain to you the license plate that most of us have somewhere in our houses. I fish, therefore I lie.
Yeah.
But we don't
It's the
cheat.
truth.
Well, this is honestly, this is going to probably turn out to be criminal because it's fraud.
Oh, it's absolutely it's criminal.
Yeah. I mean, and there's now some issues as to you have people who finish second and third at previous tournaments.
Absolutely.
You can't prove what happened in a previous tournament, but I think once you're started as being a cheat, wants to
Oh
cheat,
no,
always to cheat.
no. They're going to dump them. They won't be fishing any more tournaments. I'll guarantee you that.
No, but what do you do for the last tournaments that they fished where they weren't caught?
Let the anglers who came in second and third file a class action suit against them.
All right.
That would be what I would suggest.
Yes. Now, if I want to go into a fishing tournament and I go to Tideline Marine, a proud sponsor of this phone, can I get this program? Do you have weights that I could buy in order to rig a fishing tournament? Can I get some there?
Yeah, but let me explain to you. Ohio is one thing. You come down here to these here parts about that, and you mess with our tournaments, son. You might be the next bait that's used. You understand where I'm coming from?
You don't think
boy?
it's ever? There's got to be other ways to cheat. How can you? And I don't know the answer to this. How can they be sure that you're not going out to sea with the fish already in your possession?
Well, first of all, that fish. Anybody who's ever bought fish, like a restaurant, they'll tell you very quickly how old that fish is when they go to the fish market. They look at the eyes.
They know.
Well, absolutely. Now, if you go out there and you bring a fish in that's been previously frozen or in the refrigerator or whatever, it is 2 or 3 days old, you ain't going to get that fish by the people who doing the judging.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's not only just the people doing the judging. You got all those other anglers there. Let's say there's 100 of them fishing this tournament, and they all are looking up there and say, "Wait a minute, that's a 6-inch fish, and he weighs 12 pounds." And that ain't going to happen.
It's like the stories of the chicken.
Do you think it is commonplace? Honestly, though, I mean,
no, it's not commonplace. It is not commonplace.
This is not the first time someone's tried to cheat. Anytime there's money involved, cheaters
there
are
will be
gonna,
cheats.
I mean,
but when they get busted out there, and it does happen. And any angler in the tournaments, like the fishing tournaments that I do, any angler in that tournament has a right to challenge the results that weigh in. They have usually 2 hours or whatever it is to file a challenge. Most of them, they have to put up like $100, $200 cash bond, and then they will not award that person first prize until they do a complete examination of the fish and reweighing, and they might even have a second set of scales there to prove that fish was. If that fish was legitimate and the weight was good, then you lose your $200. However, if your challenge is accepted, you get your money back. That's the way it works.
Do they cut open the fish?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You'll gut that fish in a heartbeat.
Okay. All right. Have you ever heard of other cheating examples?
I've heard of people who claiming that they could do it or would do it or try to do it, but
People
it's
that
all a bunch
cheat
of
at golf,
yeah,
at everything,
Um,
shooting competitions.
yeah.
We've heard stories about that.
There was one police officer in Wilmington years ago. She was not on the line so much, but she was a ranking officer. But where it is, the only way she could qualify was after hours, and as long as the instructor had a .38 caliber pencil, could put holes in the target where he wanted them.
Well,
I mean, those were, I'm sure, exaggerations, but that's what we used to say about her.
Yeah.
So if there's a desire to do it, no, I've never heard of anybody cheating at a fishing tournament.
You never have?
No, not around here. I don't fish that many tournaments, but I've never heard of one around here trying to scam the system.
Lee, did you know that's where the phrase angler comes from? From these guys always trying to work an angle.
Angle.
That's where it comes
Give me
from.
a break. God knows.
I'm just my new life mission is to expose the crookedness that's going on in these fishing tournaments.
Did
That's
you
what
get
I'm
up
gonna do.
early just so you could call in with this nonsense?
Well, I haven't showered yet or had my coffee.
I can tell.
Yes.
Oh my
This was the primary reason. This is the reason for my existence.
I smell you
today,
now,
is
so
to
go
call
take a
in.
shower.
Yeah,
All right.
we've missed all our
All right.
commercials.
Yeah, we got
All
to take a
right.
break. You're live and local, real talk. All right, here on Freedom 97.1,
Good talk, Doug.
1120 AM WSME. We'll be right back. Tideline Marine just wrapping up with one sale and starting another for the month of Halloween. Spooky specials, they're calling it. If you like fishing, Doug, they got some weights there if you need some. Offshore or insured, this is meant for you. Sea King #1 planers, $10.99. Cannot beat that deal anywhere. It's not really a deal, it's a steal. Like fishing in the rivers and creeks for those speckled trout? Billy Bay Halo Shad, 8-ounce green tiger, $6.99 a pack. 1/4 ounce smoke, very popular with the local fishing guides, by the way, $7.99 per pack. Moving offshore, great for kings. King mackerel, we're talking about 3.5-inch drone spoons, $11.99. 2-inch drones, $10.99. Tideline Marine and Family, with a staff on board to serve your needs. 159 Old Bridge Street in downtown Jacksonville. Wednesdays from 8:30 till weekdays from 8:30 till 6, and Wednesdays too included in that. Saturdays until 2 o'clock. Northwesterly winds offshore today, breezy. 15 to 20 knot winds with gusts to 25, diminishing to 10 to 15 this afternoon. Seas 3 to 5, about 2 feet near shore. Dominant period 7 seconds. Sounds and rivers are choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Tomorrow, northwesterly winds 5 to 10, becoming westerly in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 3, dominant period 8 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop. And on Friday, nice westerly winds. And when the winds are from the west, the fishing is best. 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet.
And let's go fishing
Let's go
today.
catching.
Sunny with a high near 71, winds 8 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 17. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 54. Northwest wind around 7 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny with a high near 77. Winds will be calm. Thursday night, clear with a low around 57. And Friday, Cardinal football.
Yay.
We're going to have a high
gotta-
of
we gotta-
81 with a low of 58. So.
We got to kick some butt Friday.
Yes, we do,
really
especially
do.
Havelock. I have a friend who's coming from Havelock, and
Oh, really?
I got to beat him down. Beat him down.
I got a stick. Royce Bennett, Onslow County Commissioner. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. Appreciate you coming in.
Good to be here again.
You like fishing?
I used to. I don't have time to fish anymore.
Oh, come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
Didn't you live up in Moorhead City at one time?
I did, yeah.
You didn't ever go fishing?
Oh, yeah.
You had to fish
I
there.
went fishing a lot back then. That was when I worked for the government, and you work a few hours and you go home and you're off for a few hours. And nowadays, you just work all the time.
I think I'm working for the government too, because they're taking all my money and they're giving it to other people. But I'm not going to go there yet.
No, we'll
do that
discuss that
later.
later. Oof, national debt.
Speaking of the government, you are the government now.
That's right.
As a county commissioner, how long have you been on the board?
I got out of law enforcement because I didn't like the politics.
Oh, that was a dumb move, wasn't it?
Oh, man. Come on.
2016 is when you were first elected, right?
I was, yeah.
I remember that race well.
So you're
almost 6 years now.
You were on one of those 2-year term things, right?
Yeah.
You're the
yeah.
first 2-year termer.
That's right. I
Okay.
got the lucky 2-year term in 2020. So
No,
I
the
get to do it
first
again.
time you were elected, you what, 4 years
Yes.
in 2020. That's when you got on the 2-year, had to
Right.
run after
Right.
2 years.
And when I started the board, there were 5 of us, and,
That's right.
then
Now there's
now
7.
7. So yeah, we
Don't
went
we
through
need
some changes.
Can we have maybe 2 more? Do you think maybe time is up to add 2 more? He just rolled his
So
eyes.
we need
Did
to
you see
stack
that?
stack the board. Is that what?
Yeah.
Only with the ones that you know that'll vote your way. That's the way it works.
That's right.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. All sorts of issues here. We luckily, woods underneath. Ian last week was a Category 4, approaching Category 5 storm at this time a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Down
Scary.
in Florida, coming up to Florida. Imagine for a moment if that had not hit Florida, had gone to that other strait, and then made landfall anywhere north of
been in
the
a
North
mess.
Carolina, South Carolina line.
Well, the good news is Onslow County is better prepared now than we've ever been.
That's what I was going to ask. We got plans in place, do we?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, our emergency, we declared an emergency
We
and,
did.
and set up our emergency operating system before when it looked like we might get some damage. But, our emergency fund has doubled since Hurricane Florence. So
God.
we don't have to wait for FEMA or insurance to kick in before we can help people. We're storing up to 18,000 gallons of fuel. So when the power goes out, we can continue to fuel our emergency vehicles. We built 2 new schools that's double as storm shelters, rated to 150 mile an hour winds and generator backup.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, and we're working on the emergency operations center, expanding it so that we can.
I think that's going to be good.
I think so
plan.
too.
That's going to be
I
real
remember
good,
when
yeah.
y'all built that.
I think we need a little cubicle out there for the show.
That we
There
can
is
just
there is a press area there for outside press. I don't know why you couldn't broadcast from there.
That's
All I
what we
got to do is
ought to
have
do.
internet, and if you don't have internet, I can bring my own.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
Got
could
hotspot.
do. Yeah, excellent idea.
The other thing after Hurricane Florence, I was a founder of the Onslow Strong Disaster Recovery Alliance,
Right.
because we figured out that we didn't have any long-term recovery group to take assets. You look at the news today, you're seeing all these organizations that are sending supplies down to Florida. Well, we didn't have anybody any nonprofit organization that could take those things and store them and distribute them. And now we have the Disaster Recovery Alliance that can apply for grants and take tax deductible donations. Yeah. So that's another way that we're prepared for the next storm.
Well, hopefully it will be in the distant future, and your hurricane relief fund will continue to grow.
Yeah.
So where's all that fuel located? Is it locked?
Yeah. It's locked on. Yeah.
Is it ethanol free?
They're scattered across the county where they're no, it's not ethanol free.
Oh,
It's regular unleaded gasoline, I think, and diesel fuel. So.
Yeah. Well, I assume it's rotated.
Oh yeah. Well, they haven't actually. It's they're operational, but they haven't actually started using them yet because we don't have all the permits from the towns where, particularly Jacksonville, they haven't done the final electrical inspection, that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but they can use them if they have to.
Oh yeah,
they can still use them.
I don't think anybody's going to object to
Sometime
that.
in the next few weeks, after they get all the final inspections, they'll be issuing cards to the deputies and to the emergency operations people.
Can I get one?
I would like to have one too, but that's not going to happen. So, if I can't have one, then you can.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, not going to happen. So, they'll be getting cards and they'll start fueling their vehicles at those fuel farms in the near future.
That'll save them from having to drive to a central location when they're up in wherever.
That's right.
So
That's right.
That will save.
And it'll
actually
save us
gas.
money because we can buy the gas in bulk for less than what the retail price is.
That's good. Let's take a quick break here. You're live in local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Royce Bennett, Onslow County Commissioner, in the house. If you got a question, feel free to ring us up. He'll be glad to take your calls and chat with you. 910-333-0139, 910-333-0139. Alexa, call 910-333-0139. We'll be right back. And we're back, and Royce Bennett, County Commissioners in the office. A lot of people understand that you guys meet twice a month, right?
Right.
Yeah, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. It ain't that big a deal. So, what do you do with all your extra time when you're not meeting? Because that's only like a couple hour meetings at a time, generally.
Yeah, well, my calendar's pretty full most days. I try to do a little bit of real estate work too, but but just today, just saying, when I leave here, I got to go to the clerk of court's office and get sworn into the hospital board again. Then I've got to go into North Topsail Beach for their town autumn meeting, and then I'll be back here for at the Salvation Army for a community garden meeting. The Salvation Army and the Capers Foundation are working to try to find an agreement where we can use Salvation Army property to build a community garden.
Okay, now let's talk about that community garden. I've seen it work in the past, and I like it. Also saw our neighborhood garden recently, a few years back. But who's involved in a community garden? Just people?
Well, the master gardeners and our agriculture extension agents are helping, are partnering with us on that. We're getting advice from Ag Extension, and the master gardeners are going to do a lot of the work. Salvation Army has been polling people who are in the area, who are using services of the Salvation Army, to see who would be interested in participating in a community garden, just to see how much participation we're going to get. And there's quite a bit of interest.
Oh, I would imagine
in that area.
A lot of people don't have room, on their small
studio.
plots. And
I would have to,
the price of food and the availability of food these days.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing better than fresh tomatoes.
we were hoping to get a fall garden going at the Salvation Army, but right now it's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
We're getting late in the season, but Community Investment Group that bought the town center apartments, they have committed to some property right there in that community for another community garden. So
Excellent.
Working on giving these people an opportunity, giving people around this area an opportunity to work the ground and grow their own food and get some healthy options. Yeah.
There's nothing more rewarding than to plant seeds and watch them come
Watch it
up,
grow.
and then go out and harvest your efforts and come inside and cook it fresh. It's like fresh fish.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get better than fresh fish or something straight from the garden. This vine ripened, and it's not like a tomato. You buy commercial tomatoes from somewhere else, they come in green.
Right.
They sit in a supermarket until they turn ripe, but they're not ripe on the inside. They're just colored on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the flavor. That's just a fact, Jack. And anybody who's ever grown them will understand.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, well, I'm looking forward to that. That'd be a great thing for people.
It's a great project. I'm looking forward to seeing it move along. A lot of other things we could talk about. I know something recently that just happened is we had I'm on the Onwassa board. I'm the vice chairman of Onwassa. And
how you do it all.
We just had to issue a boil water advisory for the area of Gum Branch Road and Ramsey.
Right.
One of the
Was that today?
it was late yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A DOT contractor busted one of the water lines, and anytime you have a break in a water line, there's a chance that something gets sucked up into the line that's not supposed to be there.
That area got hit not long ago. About a month ago.
Get some contamination in there, and the contractor put some red dye in the water to try to find a leak, and so some people are complaining that they're seeing red water. But it's a food grade dye, so it's not dangerous. It's
not blood in the system,
right? It's edible, but we did issue a boil water advisory to about 2,000 customers out there.
Now, if customers are in a situation like that, Mr. Was it assistant chairman, vice chairman of the board of Onwassa, if there is a significant problem or potential problem, people can turn in addition to boil water, they turn all the spigots on and let it drain till you get good clean water out, right?
Well, that's what Onwassa does. I
Uh-huh.
mean, you'll see
But
the
you'll
see the hydrants running out
Yeah,
there, and
uh-huh.
and the idea is to get all the contamination out of the pipes. I don't think you want to run your water at home
I was going to say,
long
is that
enough to
on
get
is that on a meter?
yeah,
You
that's
still got to pay for it,
that's
right?
right. You're paying for
Don't want to
that,
do
so
that.
you don't
City
want to do
water.
that. But yeah, there are. I can't remember how many millions of gallons of water Onwassa has in pipes in Onslow County.
So
It's
that
a
has to be
whole lot of
drained,
water.
basically.
Yeah, just in that area, but there's a lot of water that's got to be flushed out. Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a quick break. You're live in Local Real Talk, and don't go away. We'll be right back. We talked about infrastructure. We talked about government run and all that sort of good stuff here in the county. Let's talk about politics because in reality, in the next few minutes, you got a race coming up here shortly.
I do. Yeah. Yep. One more time, we'll.
Are you just saying now this is only going to be one more term?
No. I'm saying I'm not. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I don't know what'll happen in 4 years.
You may want to run for a higher office, like state house or something.
Yeah, I doubt it. But
why does everybody
anyway.
keep saying that? Nobody will come clean.
Yeah. That's. But yeah, I'm just focused on getting reelected one more time. You know, I think we've accomplished a lot in the last 6 years. Like I said, I always work. I'm always looking ahead, always working for the future of Onslow County. You know, there's great stuff happening in Onslow County, Camp Davis Industrial Park.
Yes,
we just got 700 acres approved by Duke Energy. Duke Energy readiness certification for 700 more acres to develop out at Cap Davis Industrial Park. That'll
That's
be a
awesome.
great project. There's, the EOC expansion, the senior services that we're working on. Those are projects that I'd like to be able to see come to fruition over the next few years. So just hope that folks will let me get one more 4-year term and try to keep Onslow County moving forward and keep Onslow County strong. It's necessary. I mean, we have to be ready. We may not like what the future brings, but we got to be ready for it anyway. So, we're by the luck of the draw, be at the bottom of the ballot again. So we'll just ask folks to start at the bottom and vote for Royce and keep Onslow County strong.
Onslow County has 11 miles of beach in North Topsail area. Is that right? About 11 miles. You know where I'm going today.
I know where you're going.
Royce does too, because he listens to the show.
Oh, I know.
It's
I
all
didn't have to say anything.
It's all incorporated. There's no unincorporated areas there that you're exclusively responsible for. But even in the incorporated areas, you have responsibility because people from these areas pay taxes.
Well, let me tell you that.
Where's my lifeguards?
I got a bone to pick with you to start with.
Go ahead.
Because you are constantly saying that Carteret County has lifeguards, but that's not true.
No.
They do not have lifeguards.
In Carteret County, there are lifeguards.
Every lifeguard is an employee of a town or a private business. Yep. And I've checked. I've been looking at this ever since you started talking about it this summer. I've talked to Dare County. I've talked to Pender County. I've talked to New Hanover County. I've talked to Carteret County. None of them pay for lifeguards.
Correct.
All of their lifeguards are town or
same thing in New Hanover County.
Private employees. And I talked to Emerald Isle, and they hire, since they started hiring lifeguards, almost every time somebody drowns in Emerald Isle, they get sued. They didn't get sued before they hired lifeguards. And they have 2 protected areas where they put up they put up stands, and they say, okay, if you swim in these areas, then then you got lifeguard protection. They had 2 people just last summer swimming outside of those areas drown, and they're getting sued over it.
Well, the thing is, have they ever lost a suit?
No, I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, they may not lose, but I mean, the point is when you tell if the police chief comes to you and says, I'm going to protect you and I'm going to make sure that nothing happens to you, then he's obligated the city to protect you. If we put lifeguards out there and we tell people that we're going to protect them, then we commit ourselves to an obligation to protect people. I think there are a lot of things we could do. I'm looking at signs. I like the idea of the emergency float things that I've seen in other places. Some of the ideas I've heard right here on the show.
Do you have a swimming pool at your house?
No.
Okay. Do you know what some of the rules are? There's something. Swimming pools is declared a public nuisance unless you protect it. If you don't put a fence around it,
right,
and somebody gets inside and drowns, a kid or anybody else, then you're going to be held liably responsible. When the Onslow County Tourism Board, when they advertise and try to encourage people to come to the beach, because look what we have pristine beaches, is that not a public nuisance if you're not providing protection? And I'm not talking about the county, I'm talking about whoever is responsible for that chunk of beach. So not having a lifeguard there and using those ads that they're putting out there could be considered a civil liability, could it not?
I doubt it.
Oh, you haven't met some of the attorneys that I've met, have you?
Look, I'd love to see lifeguards at the beach, but I don't think it's the county.
I'm not saying it's a county function.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that, but the county, there's only one jurisdiction there. I mean, outside the Onslow County, on the county commissioners, of course, but there's the town of North Topsail Beach. Have you guys met with them?
Our management meets with them regularly, and like I said, I'm going to be at their meeting today. So
Might want to bring that up.
Yeah, but I always try to work with our other local governments, and I love to see us find ways that we can cooperate, whether it's with you know, beach issues or
Yeah.
growth issues in Swansboro and Holly Ridge or whatever.
I'm not going to ask you about the suit that's been filed against you against the county, because it's not really fair to ask you that, because that's a legal situation.
Well, I can tell you that we're exploring whether our insurance company will defend us, and also looking at trying to get dismissed from the lawsuit, because it really doesn't affect. We don't have any control over it.
And I don't want the taxpayers having to pay for this.
I don't either. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. All right, Kelly, we got a real quick call, but we got to hurry. Kelly, what's up?
A quick question. Royce was talking about in other areas being sued. Were they sued because there were no lifeguards, or because the person drowned?
Talking about Emerald Isle.
Well, they were. I mean, they were sued because somebody drowned and the lifeguards didn't save them.
Okay.
Now, whether or not that'll win, who knows? Who knows?
That's not gonna
But
win.
they have to defend it. So
Yeah, they have to defend
that's
it
the
always.
whole point.
All right. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay, thanks.
And I
Royce.
have a listener that has texted in a question too,
Sure.
but I know we have to take a commercial break.
Very quickly, we got Dr. Rose in a few
Okay,
minutes.
can you ask Royce if he knows how many families are still dealing with Hurricane Florence of September 2018? My house still isn't finished, and we are still living in a nightmare because of it.
Oh my. I think the last Onslow Strong Disaster Recovery Alliance meeting we had, there were about 134, somewhere around 130 applicants that were still waiting to get their homes fixed.
Really?
That had applied for help.
Oh, okay.
Now, whether or not there may be a whole lot more out there like this one that hasn't applied. I would recommend that you call 211 and tell them what your situation is, and they can put you in touch with who needs to, who you might be able to get help from.
Yeah, if you're having problems still from Florence, call 211.
Right. The Disaster Recovery Alliance works with NC Rebuild and NC Warm and other nonprofit agencies to try to get help to people who have storm damage.
Excellent. All right. Royce, thank you. Thanks for coming in, sir. We
right.
do appreciate it
Thank
as
you.
always. Take a break. Fox News is next, and Dr. Rosemary Stein on the other side. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. And we're back. Thanks to Royce Bennett for coming in here this morning and for the text messages and the phone call from Kelly there.
Yes, and I had a listener, Teresa.
I have to, I agree that it's not a county function because it's not in an unincorporated area. If it was an unincorporated area, it'd be a county function.
Right.
North Topsail Beach needs to do something. Now, if they need assistance from Onslow County, if there needs to be grant money gotten, if Onslow County can assist them in putting it together. No, I don't think it's a county dollar function.
Right.
But there needs to be some organization going on. And as long as the county, we've got this tourism money coming in,
Yes.
Onslow County Tourism. And most of that, a big chunk of that obviously is coming from the beach because that's our primary attraction for
Beach
people
and
coming in from
hotels.
out of the area.
Right. That might be our Miss Rosemary.
It's you know, I still think that they need to be part of the solution all over. Okay, Dr. Rose, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Hope you all are.
Doing fine. Dr. Rosemary Stein joining us now. And so I got the first question of the day.
I have a question
Oh,
too,
great.
so you go
I
ahead with
like that.
yours.
Everybody that I know, it seems like they got some kind of a gut ailment, a GI problem, an issue right now. Is it my imagination or is there something in the air?
That's a good one. Something in the air. I don't know that regularly something in the air would give you a gut problem, but it does seem like more than usual we're having I would say it's an upper respiratory infection plus a gastro problem, or the opposite way, I guess, way around, the gastro problem together with an upper respiratory infection. But it just seems like everybody's got it, even the ones who aren't sick. They come into the office with their siblings, and I say, that one's sniffing. Oh, yeah, he's just been there like that for a few days, and, you know, he's vomited a couple of times. So even the well ones are not well, they're sick. So something is going on, and I can't pinpoint it, and it's not, once again, it's not typable. So nothing's coming back positive.
Okay, well, I got my doctor's appointment next week, so I've had some kind of an issue for about 3 weeks now. It just won't go away. It's just, you know, it's a gut thing.
And I kind of went through that phase too. And I told you, like everything I eat, nothing tastes good anymore. I'm just tired of it. I just don't even want to eat.
Well, except when you go out to eat, it tastes good, right?
Well, yeah, if I go out.
So your cooking has gotten bad.
That's just mean.
Well,
I mean, that way all week.
I have to do the math here. These are the clues. Everything I eat at home and everything I cook tastes awful. I go out to a restaurant, it tastes great. Well, what would you surmise from that? You're either buying bad food or you're not able to cook it right.
That could be it because I buy fresh food and I cook. I don't buy
processed stuff.
Right. I don't buy processed stuff, but
Okay.
it just seems like everything fresh. Even the meats don't taste right.
That's just bad beef. Bad cows.
Bad cows.
I'm going down to
maybe the cow had COVID.
I'm going to go to Randy's place. His stuff always tastes good down there.
Oh, you keep talking
Hey,
about
you know,
that
when you are in the area, you need to try out the Burrow restaurant in Swansboro. They have got some fine food. They also own the El Signa, whatever it is, the Italian restaurant in town too. Ask for the eggplant meatballs. Oh my goodness.
I didn't take you for a veggie meal kind of guy.
I'm not.
He's not.
I'm not. But they taste more like good meatballs than good meatballs taste like.
All right.
Boy, it's good. So anyway, okay. I digress. Talking about food, I can talk all day long.
Yes.
What else is ailing the kids out there? What kind of issues are we seeing?
Oh, I saw a couple of kids that are not having viral or physical ailments, but a lot of mental things and the heart, as in their spirit, their heart problems going on out there, escaping through windows in the middle of the night, and all sorts of things that leave your heart sick about kids. They are trying to find ways to fill their lives because the parents are too busy and too distracted. And we have miserable children. And it's important that the parents focus on what's important because you can lose your job and things will keep going. But if you lose your kid, that's going to be a problem. And I have one mom say exactly that. I lost my kid. And the kid is sitting right there. And she said, I lost my kid.
I was talking with a mom a couple of days ago about a situation because her son's, one of her sons is, he had a chance to go to jail. He got lucky, got a suspended sentence. He's 19 years old. And she and I were talking, and she said she already lost one son this year. What do you mean?
Oh, wow.
And he was the kid that was killed over at Northside High School, stabbed
Oh gosh.
at the beginning of the school year, 7 o'clock in the morning. So that's the kind of thing and pressures that a lot of parents are facing. No, a parent should never have to bury their child.
No, never.
And I'm reading the 12-year-old kid that planned with help from another one. I forgot where it was. It was in Texas. Anyway, she 12-year-old girl and a classmate, same age, they planned to kill all of their parents, both
my
families and the pets. Well, she killed her dad. Then it went awry, and they did not get away. And then she killed herself. She shot herself.
It's crazy. It's so sad.
There's something wrong. And it looked like a very normal family. I'm not sure. I haven't heard otherwise. What's going on? This is not the only one.
It's cultural disease. We have we have a true heart problem, a true spirit problem in America, and I think until we stop what we're doing and we pay attention, it's just like that mom said. She was devastated that this kid was feigning, making believe that she was at home, that everything was going well, and right behind her back, all of this was occurring, and she was leaving the house regularly in the middle of the night and just returning in the crack of dawn, and nobody knew for weeks or months that this was happening. And it's time for us to reflect on, again, what is important. Because I'm not saying that our jobs are not important. The jobs are the way that we sustain our families, that keep things going. It gives us a sense of identity. But if we lose our children, then we have nothing. Literally and figuratively, as a family and as a nation. So it's not to depress everybody, but you got to go back to your home and figure out what needs to happen. And when you get those warning signs, don't ignore them. Yeah. They're for real. When your heart twinges about there's something that's not right, go deal with it. Pray about it. Be thoughtful about it, but go deal with it.
We hear all the time, oh, it's the family's problem. They don't have a daddy in the house. They don't have. Well, that's a fact of life these days. We're going to have to deal with it without the daddy in the house in a lot of these situations, or the mom in the house. We're going to have to deal with a drugged out dad or a drugged out mama. We're going to have to deal with that because the kids are going to grow up just like that or worse.
That's right. It's at some point it becomes all of our problems. But it could give you examples of Ben Carson's dad was non-existent. He had two families. Mom decided that she was going to walk out on that and raise both boys to be good men. She sacrificed and she succeeded. It is not easy at all. No, but it's not impossible.
No. People like that need to reach out for help. There are resources out there. There are community outreach programs in every community. There's somebody out there that can help. There's a preacher that will get involved somewhere. If it's not in your church and you can't get along and your preacher ain't helping, go find another one.
Well, that's all. We have a gentleman coming on next week that's going to talk just about that.
Yeah. So, we got to do something for the kids. Otherwise, we're going to have a lost generation. And sometimes I think we're really close to that already.
Oh, I think so too. I really do. Well, I have
and
a
you
question.
have to feel bad. You have to feel bad for the good ones. They have to carry the load.
Oh yeah.
So that's difficult too. How discouraging will that be for kids like Hannah, my daughter, and other kids that are good and work hard. And when there's only one of them and hundreds of the kinds that we were just talking about, that's very discouraging. So the time to stop and reflect and change things. We got to change what we do so that the kids change.
I feel so sorry for teachers every day. They're on the front line out there, and they're blamed for a lot of stuff that they're not responsible for. But they're blamed for bad parenting, and they're not responsible for that. But whatever. I remember way back when my daughter was in high school, in the particular school she went to, the teachers had to spend 50% of their time dealing with behavioral problems committed by 50 kids in a school with 1,200 students. 50 rugrats required half of the teacher's day just to deal with their attitudes and deal with their problems. That's not right for the other 1,150 kids in that school.
Absolutely. And we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago, I think, that it's a matter of what can be done for the other 50.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the thought is suspension, but you're letting them out on the street.
Yeah.
But I think there are a lot of there's a lot of repair that we can be thinking about as a society, because if all 50 grow up to be criminals, we're going to have a community that's at danger.
Yep.
There are
happen.
other things that we can do.
That's exactly what. When they suspend a kid from school, if there's a week of snow days or whatever, when kids are home alone, basically,
Yes.
you know, the home B&Es, breaking and enterings during the daytime go up.
Why would they go up? Was the kids home?
Well, the kids are home going to other people's places and doing stuff because they're unsupervised. They have no teacher. They got no parents at home. So they get out together and go break in places. That's been a
You're saying
case.
the kids do it.
The kids do it. Yeah.
I got you.
You can track snow days with
Right.
increased breaking and enterings by the daytime.
I did not ever think about that. But you're
It's
probably
a
right.
fact, Jack. You know, the crime stats prove it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, Dr. Rose, I have a real quick question. My sister brought this up, and we've been discussing it. Do you think it's necessary for adults over the age of 50 to get the shingles vaccination?
Oh, I'm not an adult doctor, but it should not be universal. It really should be with risk. If you're immunocompromised, if you have low tolerance for pain, very low tolerance. If you don't, I think, if you had a very bad case of the chickenpox as a kid, or you didn't receive the chickenpox vaccine, these are all things to think about. What is your risk for bad shingles? And, you know, you may never even be able to predict your risk. But it's certainly, if you meet the criteria for the risk, it's something you should really consider. But I don't think that vaccine should be universal. I've not seen a lot of bad side effects. Of course, once again, I'm not an adult doctor, I'm a pediatrician. But everything has a side effect. So that, you know, and it is a virus, and even the vaccine lives within the nerves of the body. That's something to consider. So there are pros and cons. Once again, I just don't think that vaccine should be universal. It should be offered, but it shouldn't be required. Now, right now, I'm not sure if some like nursing homes and places like that are requiring it, but I don't agree that that's a vaccine that should be required.
Okay, excellent information. I'll certainly pass that on to her.
Okay, very good. Dr. Rose, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I love getting your questions and pondering on things.
Yeah, we have a variety of questions that we can ask you dealing with
Yes.
situations,
Especially
Some of them
with
have
all
to
our
have-
ailments.
Yeah, some of them have to be personal. So you know, I just need a concierge doctor to be in town here.
He just
Why don't
needs
you
somebody
move
just
here?
to come in and rub his shoulders all show long.
I need a massage
I
therapist in here.
am your virtual doctor. How's
Yes.
that?
There you go.
And we enjoy talking
We
to
do
you.
absolutely. Thank you, Doc.
you so much. You have a lovely week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
See you next week. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME, and we'll be right back. Down there at Tideline Marine, they had a special they were running, a sale back in September. Well, they've got another one going. It's their spooky specials for the month of Halloween. If you like fishing offshore or inshore, this is meant for you. If you like Spanish fishing and that kind of stuff, you know what a planer is. Sea King #1 planers, $10.99. Okay, that's a steal of a deal, I'll tell you. If you like fishing in the rivers and creeks, you really like speckled trout or redfish. Billy Bay Halo Shad, 1/8 ounce green tiger, $6.99 a pack. 1/4 ounce smoke, very popular in New River with the local guides anyway, $7.99 a pack. Move offshore, great for king mackerel, 3.5-inch drone spoons, $11.99. 2-inch drones are $10.99. Tideline Marine and Family with a staff on board to serve your needs. 159 Old Bridge Street in downtown Jacksonville, right on the banks of the New River. Weekdays from 8:30 until 6 and Saturdays until 2. Northwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots today, gust to 25, diminishing to 10 to 15 this afternoon. 3 to 5 footers except 2 feet near shore. Dominant period 7 seconds. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Thursday, northwesterly winds 5 to 10, becoming westerly in the afternoon, seas 2 to 3. Dominant period 8 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Friday, westerly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 3 feet.
And today is sunny with a high near 71, winds 8 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 17. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 54. Thursday, sunny with a high near 77. Thursday night, clear with a low of 57. And Friday, sunny with a high near 81. And we're going to take it to a win. Friday night football, Jacksonville High School.
Rock on,
Go
Cards. So let's
Cards.
go. Before we take a caller real quick, like listening yesterday, now we gave out the offshore report yesterday of 4 to 6 footers and lots of wind, up to 30, 35 knot gust.
Oh
Okay.
my God, that's a lot.
Then we hear a boat coming in, headed for New
What?
River Inlet, and he's offshore and he's taking on water. He was calling the Coast Guard for assistance, and he was running as hard as he could, which was about 7 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It was a long ride.
Oh, yeah.
He made it back in.
Wow.
But
Good.
he was calling for assistance.
Oh, wow.
When there are predictions and you got a 23-foot boat or 24-foot boat, open boat, and when you got that and they're calling for 4 to 6 footers offshore,
you're going to take
with
on
30
water.
knot winds, do not go out there. I cannot impress upon you enough. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Mike Cayley. How are you this morning?
Hey, Michael. How are you doing? What you up to?
I'm in the midst of getting things ready for this great Saturday morning.
Saturday morning?
Yeah, we're going to do Apple Fest over there on
That's
Hall's
right.
Run at
That's
the
right.
community building.
Yeah, we talked to John Michael about that.
Yes.
You got any apples?
Yeah, we're going to have some apples.
I heard they're treat a table.
Are we? Are these apples? I had up in the mountains many years ago, fried apple pie.
Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry.
Mm.
I'm going.
Ever
That
heard
sounds
of
pretty
that?
good.
It was delicious. It came out in slices, kind of almost like pizza slices. Fried apple pie. It wasn't a turnover. It was fried apple pie.
Wow.
That was good.
Well, that sounds good.
So what time does the festivity start again?
Well, it's going to kick off around 10:30, 11 o'clock Saturday morning, go to 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
Halls Run Community Building, correct?
Yeah, 896 Halls Run Road.
Gotcha. And what all are you going to have available for the public?
Well, we definitely got Church's Chicken coming.
I love
We
chicken.
got Rita's Ice, caramel apples, got baked goods, got some different crafts coming.
So you're going to have
got
vendors.
a hay ride.
Right. You'll have vendors there.
Yes, ma'am.
And entertainment for the kids and others.
Yeah, we got a rock climbing wall, a bouncy. Might have a little bit of the paintball stuff set up.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we got.
Michael, let me ask you this. Is there an admittance fee?
There is no admittance fee. It's come out and enjoy the weather and see good people out there and see what the local community is doing.
Well, my understanding is now, like if someone wanted to go out there and visit a food truck or buy something from a vendor, that goes directly to the vendor. Then the vendor in turn is giving money to the organization, correct?
That is correct.
Good.
And that's how
I
you're
got
making your money.
right.
And this
Yeah, we're going to get a
benefits,
percentage of that.
right? You want to tell everybody what it benefits?
Well, it's going to benefit a few different things. We're looking to help veterans that are homeless or out of a job, trying to have a place to live, to get back on their feet and get a job. We also got Christmas coming up around the corner, and we will do deployed Santa, try to get some toys for kids that are underprivileged or, just going through rough times and family can't afford it, and try to help them out a little bit.
Right.
Now, in that respect, if somebody wants to bring, will you have a collection point there, availability if they want to bring a new unwrapped toy?
Yeah, good question.
I can definitely have that set up for this Saturday.
I think that will be a great way to get
Yes,
started
it
with this.
is.
So you
It
guys want to
is.
go out there, you would just pick up a new toy, but Walmart or wherever you want to go.
Right.
Buy it new.
Right.
Don't go pick up a bunch of junk, and don't clean out your closet. Buy it new.
Yeah.
Don't wrap it up in Christmas paper, because you got to see what age it is when you start distributing this
Right.
stuff. So you're wasting your time to do that.
That's right, because just around the corner, people will be putting out their boxes for toys for tots and all
That's
that kind of
right.
stuff for
That's
the
right.
community.
So a
So,
good
so yeah.
suggestion is, if you're going to go spend the day at the Halls Run Community Building and taking your kids, take a toy with you.
Absolutely.
That would be so
I
kind.
got a gentleman from the local community that's going to come out and sing probably about noon till we're done that day.
Oh, goodness.
So that ought to be
Who's that going to
good.
be?
Let me get this name. I got it wrote down. Hang on a second.
Are you going to have
His
a
first
band?
name's Terry.
Terry.
Huh?
I don't know
I
Terry.
don't know Terry.
I don't know Terry.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a matter of fact, he's got a thing, I believe, either in Swansboro or Morehead City this weekend
Okay.
on Friday night.
Okay.
Swansboro's got entertainment, live entertainment.
Yes.
Normally, and Moorhead always does.
And
too.
one of our callers that calls often, he plays out there in that
Steve.
area too. Yeah, Steve, Carteret
Yeah.
County and Swansboro area.
And yeah,
Yeah, Terry Davis is what I got wrote
Terry
down.
Davis. Okay.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
I do
Real
too.
quick, is there a meeting tonight?
Yeah, we're having a meeting there around 6:00 down there. Myself, John Michael Moore, and a few other people that belong to the Lancers
Right.
to finish getting things organized and
Okay.
see how we're going to set everything up.
All right, good
Sounds
enough
pretty good.
then.
Michael, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me on, and God bless y'all on this great morning.
Yeah,
you
you
too,
too,
Mike.
sir.
You take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Mike Haley, nice guy, really nice
Yes.
guy.
Very nice.
Tell you, sheriff that I like our sheriff too. I like our sheriffs in surrounding counties too. I know several of them.
I don't like the one in Columbus County.
I don't know about him. I also like the sheriff down there in Florida, in Lee County.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Oh.
what has he got to say
He
now?
promised looters
Oh,
that
yeah.
they could be shot dead if they try anything there. 4 people were arrested when they were caught stealing stuff from an empty home, one that had been
Lowest
evacuated,
form of a human being.
one
I'm sorry.
that was damaged by Hurricane Ian last week. 3 of the 4 individuals they arrested are illegal aliens.
Oh,
They don't even
wow.
belong
Go
here.
figure.
Sheriff
Come
Carmine
on.
Marcino is warning the community that other looters might not get off so easy. As far as looting, he said, we have law and order in Lee County. We have law and order in our great state of Florida, and we always will. Right now, we have 4 cases of looting, and I'm proud to say they're behind bars where they belong. Our residents are going to be safe.
You know, it's a shame. Your home is damaged. You'll lose so much, and then you have to worry about people stealing what little bit you have left.
Oh, my.
I think every resident out there ought to be given a shotgun.
Well, there was one of the cars down there had been painted over. You loot, we shoot.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, gosh.
I cannot disagree with that philosophy. Obviously, you don't want to be taking people's lives because they're stealing property, but you don't want people stealing your property either.
No, absolutely
That's
not.
just flat not
And see,
right.
and that's why a lot of people will not leave their homes, even though they're told to evacuate, because
They're afraid of what's going to
They're
happen.
afraid of what's going to happen. And they're afraid of, well, if I'm not there, somebody's going to come in. They're going to steal everything I have. And people have a tendency to want to protect their house.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know that I could leave.
I'd have a hard time leaving.
I think I'd have to go get my daughter and her family and say, let's go to the mountains or somewhere. Let's go
A
have
Myrtle Beach
vacation.
man's charged after he was accused of climbing on a fishing boat that washed ashore. This is not a little fishing boat. This is a trawler.
That
it
was
looks
a
like.
shrimp trawler, wasn't it?
During Hurricane Ian, the Myrtle Beach Police Department said Isaac Shaw, he's 50, of Myrtle Beach, a dummy, was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. That's the best they could come up with. He
Really?
climbs aboard this boat. It's washed up on the beach, okay? It's aground. So he decides he can climb up there and see what he can get, I guess, when he was out there tossing around in the surf.
Mm-mm-mm.
Police said efforts have begun to remove the boat. They said people should stay away.
I think I saw this morning where they said it had been removed.
It may have been by now. I don't know.
That would be good.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Well, you were talking about sheriffs, and we brought up the Columbus County Sheriff the other day. Well, he has been suspended from his office
Good.
after the district attorney filed a petition for removal.
Good for him.
And that was after he was made some very racist remarks during a recorded phone conversation in 2019, not long after he first took office. I'm telling you, it's going to come back to haunt you. The defendant has committed willful misconduct and maladministration in office.
Good. Goodbye.
Constitutes corruption.
A fugitive was arrested in Edgecombe County here in North Carolina last week. Nearly 8 years on the run.
Wow.
According to the North Carolina Judicial Branch website, Brandon Lee Garris was wanted for breaking and entering, trespassing, and violation of a court order and probation violation. Deputies said Garris was found in the Fountain area of North Carolina, where they think he was staying for almost 8 years.
Oh, bad boys, bad boys. Oh, they're going to catch you.
Gonna come for you.
That's right.
Well,
Oh, they did. I just saw the news story. They removed the shrimp boat
good.
from Myrtle Beach after they said it took crews about 2 hours to get the boat loose and back into the waters.
That's good. Water's calmed down a little bit so they could pull it.
Yes.
Oh, sure, no doubt.
Yes.
He was taken to the Edgecombe County Detention Center, received a $15,000 secured bond. Not enough. If he'd been on the lam for 8 years, nope, not enough. They should have bet about $100,000 on him.
Absolutely. One thing we haven't talked about this morning?
What's that?
The passing of Loretta Lynn.
Yeah, I know.
That makes me so sad.
When we start losing, well, it's a shame to lose anybody, because I've seen so many young people of recent times, stars on TV shows and former stars on TV shows when they were kids, for instance, and they're like dead suddenly.
Yes.
Then we lose legends like this.
Yes.
In the music industry forever.
Doesn't it make you feel like you're really getting older, though?
I am.
Yeah. No, it's a loss to country music.
Yes.
And
but she will live on forever.
She will live on forever. That's right.
That's the thing.
Crank up that radio.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, she was 90. She lived a good life.
Lived a great life and provided a lot of great music for
Yes, she did.
a bunch of us.
Yes, she did. Yeah. Bless her.
A migrant was shot and killed while he was in custody at the Border Patrol Station in El Paso on Tuesday afternoon. The guy being detained at the station at the time of the shooting was transported to a local hospital where he died from his injuries. Brandon Judd, a spokesman for the National Border Patrol Council, told Fox News that the migrant went for an agent's gun right before the shooting, and the agents used inappropriate force at that point. FBI in El Paso is working with them to do the investigation. You know what? Wait till we find out who this dude was. He's probably just not going to be some little innocent illegal coming across the border.
Right.
He has something big time to lose.
A history.
Something.
Oh, well, have you been to New York City, haven't you?
Yeah, but not lately, thank
Have
God.
you ever ridden the subway?
Nope.
Well, did you hear what happened Sunday?
Nope.
A gang of 6 women wearing
the green
neon
shirts,
green
the green
bodysuits
dresses. Yeah.
beat and robbed two 19-year-old women on the subway. It was a
Oh.
bizarre thing, but it was caught on video.
Yeah, I did see that.
Green
I can't
body
go to New
seats.
York anymore.
No,
It's too dangerous, and I can't carry my gun.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
So that's a problem.
Well, it's like when my sister and I would go to New York to visit some of her family on her side. I never took my gun. It was too much. It was too much of a chance to take.
You get arrested there with it, and you're
I
done.
don't need to get arrested and spend the night in a New York jail.
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
No,
The
not gonna
jail
happen.
is not nice, to
Yeah.
quote a former sheriff here in Oslo County.
Yes.
Better go ahead and take a break so we don't get
Yeah.
caught up in the deluge in case somebody calls.
That's
If you
right.
want to chat with us, you've got a few minutes here. 910-333-0139 right after the break. 9 for my Southern friends. 910-333-0139.
Now you got to be a little softer, like 910 333 0139.
333
And we take credit cards.
0139. We'll be right back. Former Hunter Biden business partner Tony Bobulinski expressed outrage at the FBI's handling of information he provided them about the first son's business dealings involving his uncle, James Biden, Chinese, and other foreign interests, and reportedly the current president of the United States himself.
It's funny how all
Bobulinski,
that.
oh yeah, it's coming around. Navy veteran
Yeah.
and the former head of Sino-Hawk Holdings, which he described as a partnership between the CEFC Chinese energy conglomerate and two Biden family members. He was on Fox News in the exclusive interview yesterday that he decrypted subtle word choices by Mark Zuckerberg from his own sit-down with UFC commentator and podcaster Joe Rogan. He explained how it showed the FBI must have known how damaging his information on the Biden family was to the then candidate. So the FBI shuttered it.
Interesting.
Shuttered it. He's mad. He's really unhappy about it. Zuckerberg told Rogan earlier this year that FBI officials came to Facebook executives and warned them of a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election, and to be on notice, there's about to be some kind of dump that's similar to that, just so be vigilant. What?
Are you into baseball?
I'm not, but I did actually see Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle play.
Right. Did
in
you
the 60s
did you
in,
see where Aaron
Washington.
Judge last night?
62 now, right?
62nd home run. He broke the
Yay.
American League record.
Yeah. Some people
And
are
he's
saying
a
that.
Yankee.
Yeah.
I love the New York
So was
Yankees.
Roger Maris.
That's right.
So
Right. He broke his record.
he broke the record. Hee-haw, hee-haw, hee-haw.
You to the hall, baby. I had to call Lee Honey.
Yes.
You need to do me a favor, honey.
What's that?
When you want to give out the number and you're trying to school Rayford on how to get it out, honey, I saw 3 pickup trucks starting to swerve going down the highway when you started that, and I knew right then they were listening. I even had to put both hands on the steering wheel myself. So you got to be careful with that, sweetheart. I declare.
You're going to get more calls with that than the 910.
Oh, Lord,
So I
yeah,
told you, we took credit
910.
cards. We all take credit cards.
Oh, yeah, that tickle. Yeah, when you said that, I realized, oh, what are we turning into now? Good, great.
We're going to be for profit. Is what we're going to be.
We need new curtains in the
That sound like
studio.
I think say, I mean, I even had a mean thought, a dirty thought for that about a half second. How about we take credit cards? I said, oh Lord.
Yeah,
It's for advertising. We'll take credit cards for
Advertising.
advertising.
Yeah, I got
Where
it.
is your mind?
I got it. Well, evidently it ain't where it needs to be at the moment. I said a split second. I mean, I can picture that right now. You in a hot purple bikini on with the microphone.
Lord.
910 333.
Stay
Oh
tuned.
Lord,
Stay
have
tuned
mercy.
tomorrow. She's going to go find her a purple. Did you say?
No, Rayford's going to wear
Or
his Speedos.
hot purple bikini.
No, we're going to have Rayford in his Speedos.
I'm going to be just like Timmy.
No, I don't need to see that.
I'll be naked under my clothes.
Yeah, I'll be naked underneath my clothes. I mean, wearing the Speedos. Cause I've been. In fact, I ain't been picking on Candy on Facebook a little bit about Marty, and I've been. I told her one night after she was talking about you got to get up and practice. I said, leave my cousin alone. He's tired. I said, look who he's married to.
I like that video she put on there yesterday when she just threw his chair across the room with him in it. That was good.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was hilarious.
She shoved his
I
chair
did.
across the room, and he's like,
Yeah.
screaming. It was just
Oh,
it was
okay.
a little fun video.
I never know about her.
She's crazy.
Well, I see who raised her. We know who raised her, so you know it's a mess.
Sometimes we all
Yeah.
have our tragic stories.
You're right. Yeah, I got a few of my own. So, oh yeah, but no. So I was just calling to pick on you a minute. But
good.
that I ain't got nothing specific to say. Just y'all be careful. The COVID is kicking back in hard numbers. My stepdaughter, stepson lost their dad last week. Complications due to COVID. Went in the hospital, laughing and carrying on, but he had pneumonia. Had a little bit of congestive heart failure. Had pneumonia. They were going to ship him to another hospital to do a heart cath, and they did a COVID test. He had it, and he never came out.
Yeah.
And the doctor said he had the original COVID. It was not the variant.
Yeah. Pass along
So
our
y'all
deepest
be careful.
Our deepest condolences.
Yes.
Please.
Oh
Most
yeah, I mean,
definitely.
Hugs. They call me up. I'm on, to save money. We're gonna dig the grave and stuff. And we started that. Me and a friend of mine, Jason Gwynn, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but years ago, we had, poor people out there, and they couldn't afford this and couldn't afford that. So we would get together. They call us, and we go, dig the grave for them. It didn't cost them a nickel. Well, it started building up. More people got involved.
Wow.
And my friend Daniel Jacoby, he kind of took it over because we didn't have the source. And I just want to say thank you to him. And he won't take a dime from me. I tried to pay him for it, but he's going to help me open up the grave. And I just want to say we still got a lot of volunteers out there who do things that are under the radar that people don't
That's
even
awesome.
know about.
Awesome.
Never
I didn't
even
know
heard
people.
about it.
I didn't know people still dug
I
graves.
did not know that. That's
very
amazing.
interesting. Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, we did it, like I said, years ago. Jason Gwynn and myself, we started that. That's when I had my own business and stuff like that, and I worked at night, what have you. But we would do that, and I just want to say it's because it costs to open up a grave, and Oslo Memorial Park, and Oslo Memorial Park, we can't even go in there. It's automatic; they have to do it, and I understand.
Right.
But
exactly.
he's. I just want to say the guy that passed away is David Cox. He worked for the school system.
Oh,
and he's a great guy. I mean, he just. Me and him always got along. Even though I went and married his ex-wife, but we always got along. And he's a good guy. And I hate to see him go. He was 65, and his best friend. I call it best friend. His best buddy was his oldest granddaughter. They were just about inseparable. She's 11 today.
Wow. Happy birthday to her, too.
She's having a hard time with it. But now, like I said, they were just about inseparable. But I wanted to mention that. And I just wanted to pick on you a minute about the telephone number.
Well,
that was awesome.
Well, thank you,
Throwing
Tim.
it out there.
Thank you, Tim. And for tomorrow, you folks feel free to give us a call.
Yes.
Yeah, please do. We'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one.
Lord.
Oh, God, don't do that.
We've opened up
Don't do that. They'll think you got RSV. Don't do that.
For a good time, give us a call. 910-333-0139.
We'll even take cash.
We'll be right back. This morning has kind of flown by. It's pretty much almost over here. You want to give us a ring-a-dingy for one more call? We got time for you right now.
We certainly do.
Let's see, there was something out there. 5 current or former IRS employees have been charged with schemes to defraud the Paycheck Protection Program and Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program.
Well, go figure.
Federal stimulus programs authorized as part of the coronavirus aid relief and economic security. How about that? 5 former or current IRS agents are in hot water with a man.
Go figure that.
Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, good morning, guys. It's Steve. How y'all doing today?
Steve, we want you to play us a song.
I was running around this morning doing some errands and listening to y'all. Figured since y'all had room for one more, I'd try and slip in.
I appreciate it. Thought maybe you gotten lost.
No, been busy this week. Got a King Mackerel tournament at the boat inlet pier for the people who hold King passes, yearly King passes.
Right.
So I've been helping out with that a little bit this week.
That's going to be at the pier, on the pier. The Kings are in real close right now. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah. They're doing good out there.
I think they.
But anyway, wanted to call in, say hey, and I was looking for y'all last Friday at the Hook and Reel, man. I kept rubbernecking to see if y'all popped in there. I never seen you there.
I gave it some serious thought, but we know that little thing called a hurricane.
Yeah, with that weather, I just didn't want to go out.
I got you. It turned out to be a good evening, and that was the first time I'd ever been there. And they got that those seafood bowls, and man, that stuff is good.
Really? Where is it again?
It's right there.
It's right there by the Western, on Western by the Walmart.
Right, it's right there at the very front. It's been so many restaurants before then.
Oh, that used to be Shooters or Ribeyes or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I know where it is.
Exactly what it used to be.
Yes, I need to go by there anyway. But yeah, let us know the next time you're in town.
Give us some.
Oh yeah, tonight I was gonna say tonight I'm at the Burrow, another seafood restaurant down on Swansboro Waterfront.
Oh, I know where that is. I eat there all the time.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night I'm at Tats and Tackle in Morehead City Waterfront. Friday at 34 North and Cedar Point, and Saturday at the Emerald Club in Emerald Isle. So I got a big weekend of music this week.
You sound like it.
Sounds awesome.
You need to work on a jingle for our show.
Yes.
I hear you. I can do that for sure. I have one for the
live and local real talk.
He wrote Kelly and me a song. He did.
I'll do that, man. I'll have you something by next week. I'll work on that this weekend.
You can do something for me special. So next time I'm going out of the country doing what I like to do best, something about bubbles.
I hear
Tiny bubbles.
I enjoyed all the stuff you posted too, the videos of the turtles and stuff. I watched those several times. I like that. That's really interesting. I'll have to tell you my experience with diving one time. You'll laugh real hard. I promise.
Okay.
Well, I'm a redneck. I never had no diving lessons, but I knew somebody who had the equipment. So in blue jeans and a t-shirt, I went out diving. But I have to tell you about it sometime.
Blue jeans and a t-shirt diving. Okay, well, I actually have dove in jeans and all sorts of stuff, but that was just for protection. Back in the days before I could get, they had this other modern stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, wanted to call and tell y'all to have a good weekend. I'm gonna be tied up the next couple of days. I'll try and listen, but I might not get the call.
Okay.
We hope you do get a chance.
Other than that, I'm listening and enjoying the show.
Absolutely.
That way we can talk about him and he'll know about it.
Well, we mentioned him this
I heard
morning.
my name this morning. My wife was in the car with me. She's like, "That's you. That's you." I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
All right. We got a plugger, Steve.
All right, Steve. You take care, sir.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye.
We'll be back tomorrow. We got a full day too.
Yes.
Oslo County Health Department. We're going to have a nurse in there from there, right?
That's right.
Discussing
Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay. Very
and
good.
what the health department offers you.
Okay. Sounds good. Live and local real talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll see you tomorrow morning at about 7 o'clock.